Doma Sports Talk Worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed, baby. Now, boxing, headlines, ain't many of them right now, but, little ones. Well, that's a damn lie. It's a whole lot of stuff going on. Let me stop lying because that's just a whole lot of stuff going on. Fights about to get signed. Some fights are going on that we wouldn't expect, seeing as though there's a pandemic. So there's some things going on. But the major players, Canelo, we've been worrying about that. That's a little soap opera going on that, you got to keep your eye on, right? Because he wants to fight on September the 12th. We talked about it. This is Mexican holiday. Now, Roy Jones and Mike Tyson going to fight then. So he's got to get an opponent. And he's signed from the zone, big contract, right? And it's a tug of war. Because the zone's like, hey, man, you're going to have to fight somebody, man. you know. And Oscar De La Hoya said, "Hey man, we gave him some names, and the zone not happy with them names." You know what I'm saying? So you're thinking about if you the dude for the zone, what happened is the dude who's the real boss, the one that's never there on the island somewhere. He just put it in charge. Joe in charge. Joe, you got it, man. You got it. Make the decision. It's your decision. You know how them billionaires do. Then they go back and look. Wait a minute, I done lost $500 million. Where the hell did I lose $500 million? Because basically, if Canelo getting 365 million or something like that, and Gennady Golovkin getting 100 million, that's a half a billion. Damn it, you know what I'm saying? Excuse me, what the hell going on? I done gave a $500 million. These dudes won't fight each other or nobody else. What the hell did we do with the what happened in the contract? All they put in the contract was that Canelo has to fight top level, of opposition. You got man, y'all was supposed to put names in there. Like we ain't gonna be just side you top level opposition. You can make anybody sound good enough. And everyone who's ever talked about Canelo's contract at the zone or Gennady Golovkin's from the beginning, who was saying that that's a lot of money for these guys who are not going to fight anybody and have documented to avoid certain people. At that time, it was already, you know, you were right. All of you, all of us, right? Because now they figured out, wait a minute, he really ain't fighting nobody. Because what did you think? Gennady Golovkin fought Rose, and he was coming off Monte Rosen. I know people that don't know, you probably watching the video like, well, who's Rose and Monte Rosen? Yeah, exactly, first of all. But Monte Rosen was, off for about 2 years. And he was in a smaller weight division than Golovkin. And Golovkin was hell bent on fighting him. All these guys that we're talking about were trying to fight Golovkin for that date too. But Golovkin had to do that because Canelo was doped. And he couldn't fight on that date. By the way, big contracts, dope, won't fight. Matt Rose, and they followed that up with his new contract with Steve Rose. Yeah, you don't know him exactly. Then he got a close fight with Derevchenko and didn't readdress that. And now he's hell bent on fighting Zemaretta for 5 knockouts. Keep repeating ourselves, but that's what you got 100 million for, right? That's what somebody over there supposed to be saying. Listen, you have to fight this one, and this one, because that was after Gennady Golovkin was mandated to fight um, Charlo, and he didn't. Right? The zone sat there and watched. Last year Canelo not fight on this so important Independence Day, right? September the 12th. That's what's about to go down. He didn't fight on that weekend last year. We're in an undisputed fight. We keep talking about it. Now, the dude that was laid on the island, he had to get up and start working himself and start overseeing stuff. And he was like, wait a minute, somebody gave $500 million to two dudes that ain't about to fight nobody. Now I know I got some, but I ain't to be just throwing it away like that. This is literally what's going on. At some point, because it's getting to be that ridiculous. Now he's not gonna fight nobody by September the 12th. It's gonna be ridiculous. But let me just tell you something else that's going on. I'm gonna tell you something else that's going on. Well, I told you in another video, but I might as well just repeat myself sometimes for people that don't see. Ain't that many coming in here. So let me just repeat. Canelo ain't fighting nobody close to his talent level without no crowd in there. Okay? This is what this is too. And I told you from the get go, it's going to be about a few fighters that have been always um, followed and cheered when they punch somebody, cheered when they avoid punches, cheered when they throw jabs, cheered when they just throw the punches and don't even land. They're accustomed to that. Got decisions because of that. Okay? With no crowd, all that's out of the window. And that's a big factor for a Canelo, for an Anthony Joshua, for a Gennady Golovkin. Right? Pacquiao to a smaller extent of also though. Well, people are going for them no matter what happens. Right? You're going for them. That's why it was boring with Mayweather because wait a minute, we ain't cheering. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't gonna be no cheering for nothing. You're gonna have to sit there and watch who really won that fight. That's not in the interest of a Andy Joshua, a Canelo, or a Gennady Golovkin, and that's another factor here. So I ain't fighting nobody gonna be close. That's what's going on. Okay, so it's very interesting to watch. Let's see what the zone say, man, because that's a $500 million, man. That's a $500 million. You know what I'm saying? And somebody gonna have to fight somebody because I didn't even mention what Andy Joshua was getting. You know what I mean? So that's a lot of money for us to be talking about. They've 3 or 4 fights in their contract, and we're still talking about, well, when you gonna fight him? And when you gonna fight him? That probably shouldn't be, right? We've had a good fight, but we had. I'm giving some love. Darren Chinko fight was good, and the Jacobs fight was good. Those are the kind of guys you want to take when you have those big, heavy contracts. But let's see what happens because I don't see a lot of people going to be interested in most of those names that Canelo trying to fight. And now that they're dealing with Roy Jones and Mike Tyson on the same date, you're going to probably have to pull a rabbit out of your hat. And it's only a couple of names that can do that, right? That are ready and that could do that. And I'm not sure if he's going to be willing to fight the ones that can do that. So that's probably why ain't nothing going to happen. Let's see what happens. Doing Sports Talk Worldwide. And I'm up out of here, y'all.